Hello everyone, and welcome to this quick but powerful dive into one of the most influential books ever written, An Inquiry into the Nature and Causes of the Wealth of Nations by Adam Smith. Published in 1776, the same year America declared independence, this 900-page masterpiece laid the foundation for modern economics and changed how the world thinks about money, trade, and government. Today we'll cover the historical context, the book's core ideas, and the practical lessons you can still use in 2026. Let's begin. First, the context. When Smith was writing, Europe was locked in mercantilism. Kings and parliaments believed national wealth came from hoarding gold and silver.
Countries imposed high tariffs, banned imports,
and ran colonies like cash machines, all to create trade surpluses. The idea was simple: exports good, imports bad. Smith, a Scottish professor and Enlightenment thinker, watched the early sparks of the Industrial Revolution and saw something different. He argued that real wealth isn't piles of gold, it's the goods and services people actually produce and consume. The true source of a nation's riches is its productive power, which drives our modern systems, rather than just the gold in its treasure chest. Now let's unpack the three biggest ideas that still shape our world. Idea 1. The division of labor. In the very first chapter, Smith uses a now famous pin factory example. A single untrained worker, he says, might struggle to make even one pin a day. But 10 workers, each specializing in one tiny step, drawing the wire, cutting it, sharpening the point, could produce upwards of 48,000 pins in the same day. Specialization, Smith explained, multiplies productivity dramatically. It leads to better tools, faster skills, and constant innovation. The more we divide labor, the richer society becomes. This is why factories, supply chains, and today's global economy work the way they do. Idea 2. The invisible hand. Smith's most famous metaphor appears later in the book. In a free market, people pursuing their own profit unintentionally serve the public good. Through the invisible hand, he wrote, "It is not from the benevolence of the butcher, the brewer, or the baker that we expect our dinner, but from their regard to their own interest." In a free market, people pursuing their own profit, making better products, charging fair prices, competing fiercely, unintentionally serve the public good. The invisible hand of self-interest, guided by competition and consumer choice, allocates resources more efficiently than any central planner ever could. Prices rise when something is scarce and fall when it's plentiful. Supply meets demand automatically. Idea 3. The case against mercantilism and monopolies. Smith spent an entire book tearing apart the prevailing system. He showed that trade is not a zero-sum game. When two countries exchange goods, both can win. He defined the proper role of government, national defense, a justice system, and essential public works like roads and education. Everything else, Smith said, the market could handle better. Now, what are the big lessons for us today? Lesson 1. Productivity is everything. Growth comes from getting better at turning time and resources into valuable output. Lesson 2. Self-interest, when channeled through competition, is a force for good. It creates better phones, food, and medicine. Lesson 3. Free trade and open markets lift living standards. Protectionism usually raises prices and stifles innovation. Smith would look at today's debates over tariffs and smile knowingly. Lesson 4. Government should be an umpire, not a player. Smith warned against the man of system who tries to arrange society. Lesson 5. Capital accumulation matters. Savings invested in tools and education create the next wave of prosperity. Adam Smith wasn't a cheerleader for unchecked capitalism. He worried about the downsides of large corporations and the dulling effect of repetitive factory work on the human spirit. He supported public education and even some regulation of banking. But his core message remains revolutionary. Let people freely produce, trade, and innovate, and society will become wealthier. More than 250 years later, this book is still the best explanation for why market economies outperform every alternative. It doesn't promise utopia, but it shows a path forward.
It shows how ordinary self-interest can serve everyone, when guided by competition and the rule of law, creating extraordinary abundance for all. Like, comment, and subscribe. See you on the next video.